Hi, Loki Legion. This is Loki from like 16 hours in the future. So, really fast, I just wanted to say shout outs to Keck for coming on to the podcast for this Friday show. We just talked about Saints, Derek Carr, Pelicans, NBA trade deadline. I also didn't know that the NBA award show was happening. It was literally happening last night, so we were also doing some live reaction to that. So if we're checking some stuff out, I had like a live reaction to Geno Smith getting comeback player of the year, stuff like that. So I'm gonna leave his Twitter in the description of the video. So if you can check him out, just say Loki Legion sent you guys. So without further ado, this is gonna be more of a laid back episode. We're just talking, kind of just chilling as friends. If you want to see more collaborations, let me know in the comments, and I hope you enjoy this video. All right, hey everybody, welcome to my channel. Want to introduce yourself, Keg?
Hi, I'm Loki's partner in crime for anything New Orleans sports related, Keg.
Yeah, so I want to talk about Derek Carr because apparently everyone's saying that he's going to your team. Like he canceled the visit to the Panthers. So what are we working with?
Yeah, so he canceled the visit with the Panthers. That was reported, I want to say, what, an hour ago? Not even. He had a almost something crazy, almost like 10-hour meeting with the Saints yesterday. Decided, I guess he liked it so much that he turned back around and came back today for a short meeting before his flight home to Las Vegas. The compensation that the Saints are looking at is a third, and is what seems to be have been agreed upon. Not many other teams were really in the bidding war to begin with, so I don't know if I hope the Saints didn't price themselves out, or not price themselves out, but price themselves high immediately. Um, I mean, Carr's just thinking about. He's looks at it and he's thinking that he's going to be reunited with the coach that he had to start off his NFL career.
Do you think that is Andy Dalton a free agent? You have to kind of remind me on that one.
Yes, he is.
So basically, it'd either be Jameis Winston, and that's kind of it. Assuming that we don't
Um,
get anybody else.
I'm gonna assume if my honest to God opinion is Saints cut Jameis and we re-sign Dalton. I think last year Dalton played out of his mind, and I think he got a lot of hate because, as quarterbacks of bad teams do. But there were games where Dalton delivered multiple times, and they should have been won. The best ones I could remember were the Tampa Bay one, where Mark Ingram steps out a yard early. The shutout in San Francisco, he had actually thrown like touchdowns that just turned into not touchdowns. The last game of the season, the Panthers game, he put us at field goal multiple times. Will Lutz missed two field goals. Chris Olave fumbled within the 20. All that. And if you just switch those three games, the Saints are 10-7 instead of 7-10. But I do believe it's going to be a Carr Dalton duo. Maybe the Saints go, hey, Carr, you're a bit older. We're going to start planning on drafting your successor already. Kind of sign him to an extension to level that money out more, while drafting someone mid-round with high upside. So that would rule out someone like Hendon Hooker, who is already 65 years old.
Yeah, would you want to draft someone? You have your pick for next year, right? For 2024.
Yes, we do.
So, would you think that this? Do you think your organization would ever like tank like at all, or or you just want to compete?
I think we're too proud to tank.
Because
And I think
you wanted to mention, you kind of mentioned that you wanted like a backup QB from like a draft so you can develop. I was thinking there's a lot of awesome QBs coming out next year, and especially if you can get that Caleb Williams sweepstakes. I'm not saying you'd be that bad, but he's obviously the USC quarterback. That's my guy, and there's a couple other guys who are really supposed to be good.
so. Love Caleb Williams. My biggest knock on him is he plays way too much hero ball, and that'll force some really bad throws at times. but he has all the potential. My problem with it is that I don't think the Saints are bad enough of a team. Their defense is too elite, and right now, I have them planning probably to go get a couple defensive linemen, and if they do that, they solve their problem on defense. That defense, if you're holding teams to 7 points, if you're holding the Jimmy Garoppolo led 49ers to 13 points whenever they turn around and drag nuts on everyone. Um, it's it's a very impressive defense that is going to win you games. You're not going to be bad enough to get Caleb Williams. You're probably not going to be bad enough to get Drake May. You're going to have to start looking at guys towards the middle of the first. People maybe like Quinn Ewers if he starts to pan out. Quinn Ewers, Jackson Dart is someone that I personally believe in if he could clean up his interception problem. But this year, the whole problem with this year and us trying to get any type of quarterback is that they just don't have many, and really they're not impressive once you get past the top five.
And
And
then
even
your pick is to the Philadelphia Eagles. That really
yeah,
is the sucky part. So at least you can maybe think about maybe trading up, but kind of don't have that ammunition this year.
yeah. Unless someone like if we were to get lucky, if I'm the Saints and I see Anthony Richardson start tumbling into that 15 range, I'm leveraging next year's first rounder, this year's first rounder to get Anthony Richardson because I don't think we're going to be that bad to have a crack at any of those guys. And I think Anthony Richardson, outside of Caleb Williams, is the most talented quarterback we have these next 2 years.
He's just
Maybe
obviously like, really raw though. That's like
very, very raw, but he got better throughout the year, mechanics wise. But this year for the Saints, if I had to tell you like what I would personally want for this year, I'm looking at four positions. I think I can narrow it down to almost in order. If I'm them, I'm going defensive end, wide receiver, defensive interior, running back. Honestly, I was talking with a group chat of mine, which I got flamed for this because they said I was going into rebuild mode for wanting to trade one player. But I was saying, see if you could trade Kamara for a 2 and a 4, and draft Tajay Spears out of Tulane along with Zach Charbonnet out of UCLA to replace him and Mark Ingram. They weren't happy with that. I don't understand why they
it's
weren't.
just yeah, a lot of people kind of get attached to running backs when it's the most like if you can trade a running back for like a couple firsts or even like seconds, like that's really good value. And then you can I've known especially with how Kyle Shanahan runs things, if you can get any quarter like running back out of the 6th round, and if you have a good O line and if you have good coaching, you can turn any 6th round like guy like Elijah Mitchell into a rock star. So you don't need a 1st round talent running back unless you're really good everything else, but even then you could probably get something better.
You to be a first round running back, you have to to me you have to have receiving upside. You have to be like Christian McCaffrey was drafted, 8th, I want to say, in 2017, and that's great, good for him.
1,000 guy. Like, those guys don't
Yeah,
come around.
his only problem has been that he's been injured. That's it. Now, of course, thankfully he gets out of my division, and now he's healthy. So I don't, but I still have to face him once every 2 years on average, maybe 2 years in a row, stuff like that, 3 years in a row. But yeah, I'm circling back to the topic at hand. I'm a fan of Carr, especially if we get him at that 3rd round draft pick. I think people have been talking about it. And I've been debating if it's true or not. And that's he would automatically be a top 5 quarterback in the NFC. So I was like running through in my mind who are guys that I would put above Carr. And none of them in the NFC South I would put above Carr. Jalen Hurts. I think Dak Prescott is a toss-up. With like Derek Carr's worst year this year was still statistically like equal to Dak Prescott or better in some areas. And I know Cowboys fans aren't going to like that one, but I'll give the nod to Dak. I think Carr's better than Daniel Jones. I think Carr's better than whatever the Commanders have. Then you start
from what I can tell.
Yeah. Then you move into the NFC West. He's better than what the Rams have, because I do truly think that you're going to start looking at Matt Stafford on a very, very steep decline. And I may be wrong. If Matt Stafford doesn't decline, then obviously Matt Stafford. I'm not drinking the milk on or drinking the Kool-Aid on Purdy just yet.
No, you have to.
I know I'm on your podcast. I'm saying that, but the truth is that you see a lot of rookie players get a lot of good film out their rookie year because people don't know how to deal with them yet.
Right.
Then they get hands on their film and then they start chopping it up. Now look, if Purdy continues on this, man, I'll put him up there. And that leaves what, NFC North?
Well, you didn't talk
Taking
about
Kurt.
Gino or Kyler.
Oh yeah, Kyler. He's up there. Gino. I'm not drinking the milk on Gino or the Kool-Aid on Gino either. He's had so many years of not being good, and towards the end he fell off. Really, I find statistically he wasn't performing as well. And then in the NFC North, I'm taking Fields, Kirk, and Goff above him. So I'm like, are we sure he's a top 5 quarterback in the
You
NFC?
didn't mention Rodgers if he does decide to stay because we didn't even know what. We didn't even know. We can. That's the thing. We've had 2 years where it seemed like he's gone, then he just stays, and it's kind of we've seen this story.
But this one seems more final than any
because
other
he's
year.
in his darkness retreat. Is that what?
Dude does the weirdest things.
I don't know. Like, I know the Packers would have said that they would never want to trade to in conference, but if let's just say the Saints are in like a position to get Rodgers, are you trying to? Or are you
I'm
don't
taking
want to deal
Carr.
with him?
I'm taking Carr. I think Carr is a better leader. I think Carr is going to be cheaper, both salary, and at least draft capital wise. The brass that we have now likes Carr, and at Carr's best, Carr's a very good quarterback. I mean, I was watching Carr highlights to see what he does good, and that guy can move and throw on the run and layer. He has a good arm. And he's been dealing with horrible this past year. He dealt with horrible coaching, and then had a banged up receiver. If I'm correct, Waller was hurt almost the whole year. Devontae had a couple missed games. I want to say like 2, 3, and he was sick for one. He was sick for the Saints one whenever Alontae Taylor put himself as the best rookie cornerback ever. And
Hunter Renfrow fell off like hard.
Yeah, he fell off, but he was also injured.
Yeah.
Like, I mean, Mac Hollins was their wide receiver too.
Yeah.
And Carr had an electric connection with Mac though.
The only thing, it looked weird just because at least with Jarrett Stidham, when he came in against the 49ers, I don't know what happened that day, but Jarrett Stidham was looking so elite in McDaniel's system. So I think that aren't think Carr liked the coaching from what I can tell, especially if the requests and all this stuff is going down. So it's hard to. I'm pretty sure McDaniel's wants Stidham rather than Carr.
Yeah. Also, I mean, but you saw it the game after. If I'm right, the game after Stidham looked horrible.
Game. Yeah, I don't know. I feel the Chiefs just always destroy the Raiders like in a brutal way.
Carr gave it. You know, what messed up Carr in the Chiefs game was Devontae Adams and Hunter Renfrow running into each other.
That was so horrible.
Yeah, I mean, he made the right read and all that. He, like, this past year, the Raiders had very, very competitive games.
Yeah, this blew a lot of leads. Like, there was the Jacksonville lead, the Cardinals lead. I thought there was another team that had like a big lead. The Chiefs.
Yeah, I don't want to talk about losing leads right now. I know all too well about that.
Yeah, it's tough like that, especially with Carr. But I was wondering what your thoughts on Carr, because everyone's kind of just airing it in that Carr's basically going to be a Saint soon.
I hope he is. I think he's the best option we have.
All right, so because obviously I want to ask you about your future quarterback, but NBA trade deadline. What are we working with? What are your thoughts?
Okay, so I'll open with the big splash stuff. I think the Lakers got exponentially better, and by exponentially I mean like 6th seed team now instead of 12th seed.
Yeah.
um, I think the Suns starting rotation got exponentially better, and almost unguardable. But the problem is, and you see this a lot with the Mavs, and you see this a lot with the Nuggets. These guys with these high level players, whenever they get subbed out, those leads evaporate like that. I mean, the Pelicans, whenever they're on their slide, they almost beat the Mavericks whenever Luka went out in the third, and they were down 27 at one point. So I'm really scared about their depth whenever they can't rotate onto teams that have those scorers that are going to come around. Um, the okay, so the Clippers made some moves. The Nuggets made a really questionable move to me with Bones. If I would have known Bones was moving for that cheap, if I was the Pelicans, I would have just outbid them right there.
Right. I
But
think a
Pelicans,
lot of these moves are really contingent on buyout markets, though. Like a lot of if they don't if the Clippers obviously trading away Reggie Jackson, they got Bones Highland, but it's like if they traded away Reggie and they don't get Russell Westbrook, I'm assuming he or whoever else gets them, then they're kind of because they traded away John Wall too, so it's like these moves are really they're gonna get someone on the buyout market. Like the Knicks had like a trade with the Blazers for like 3 players and they got back Josh Hart, so I'm assuming they're clearing up roster space and money so they can buy out someone, but. That you have to, if they don't buy out anybody like the Knicks, a lot of these trades will look bad on them, but it just depends.
yeah. So like a lot of these trades are like it's done after this year. These guys aren't gonna run it back with this team. I don't think KD is gonna run it back with the Suns unless they win. You know. I don't
KD
think
hasn't
Kyrie
got the
runs.
extension, so he would. But I know he can force his way out, but dang.
I don't know if Kyrie's going to run it back with the Mavs. I don't know if all these guys are going to stay on their teams. I think this is like the West is geared up like crazy just to stop, Grand Theft Alvarado.
They're trying
And
to
they had to
stop the
do all of
Splash
that.
Brothers and Jokic.
Yeah, I mean, you don't even get me started on Jokic, man. I hate
They
Jokic. I
Jokic got the backups. We traded Thomas Bryant to the Nuggets, and that was I don't really like that move, but from what I can tell, Thomas Bryant forced his way out. So it's like, okay, we can't really do too much in this league about players wanting out.
The Pelicans traded for the wrong spur today, if you ask me. We needed Jakob Pertl, and instead we traded for a 3 and D guy.
God.
Like we have 8 of those. And Richardson isn't bad. I think he's better than Devonta Graham. But we should have traded for Jakob. I think the big the players that I wanted and I started to like really buy into was sell the farm for Nick Claxton and Mikal Bridges
Like
because that would have made. Oh,
you mentioned Jakob Pertl, and the Raptors were such a tease because everyone assumed that OG, Van Vliet, maybe Siakam, were all gonna be dipping. So I was hoping the Lakers could maybe make a run at OG. I don't think we would have enough compensation, but all the contenders want OG desperate wanted him really badly because he does everything you want modern NBA.
well, like I had heard some reports that the Raptors weren't as much as sellers as everyone was kind of making them out to be, which is dumb. You're not winning in a weak Eastern Conference.
They're at the
I mean,
bottom too.
yeah, like trade, man, trade, clear up cap space. You should have traded Pascal Siakam and OG Anunoby for like Jonas Valanciunas, Jackson Hayes, Devonta Graham. I am like 8 first. I don't care. If I'm the Pelicans, I would have done that
I
because that
think
makes you.
a big part of why the Raptors didn't end up selling was because when we traded Russell Westbrook, I think the Clippers really wanted Van Fleet, from what I can tell. So now that they had the Russ party buyout incoming, I don't think they didn't want Van Fleet. And then there was reports that the Clippers offered were offered like Terrence Mann for Van Fleet and they declined. So I'm pretty sure they're assuming they're gonna try to make a run at Westbrook or whoever is on the buyout market. So that's why a lot of the buyout guys probably were not expected by the Toronto people. So they're probably trying to fleece the Clippers for like a bunch of picks, but things did not end up really working out that way.
Yeah, I was really big on like if we could have done like Bones Highland and John Collins for
Dude,
the
that
Pelicans.
John Collins shit's so annoying. Dude,
It
he's been
aggravates
in
me because he
trade
left
rumors for
out.
like 3 years at this point.
Did you see all the stuff he was doing with the Pelicans after we beat them?
No.
He went go speak to every single Pelican player, gave them all a hug, and as someone was videoing him doing it, he had like winked at the camera. He probably wanted to be a Pelican, and just Atlanta's just holding him down for no reason.
I don't like John Collins has been in trade rumors since like 2019. He's in forever now. It's like you would think that you would have gotten rid of him by now, not sent him to an extension, but and like it's not. It's obvious that like if they're taking offers, but until like the last 10 minutes of the trade deadline, everyone assumed that he might have been gone, but no. But
And oh man, who was the guy that I wanted? There's something I wanted to say, man. I lost it. I lost it. It's probably about rotations instead of trade. So whenever we start talking about the trade deadline, start
you,
talking more about like rotation.
you'll notice it like immediately. But that trade deadline was like actually insane. Like I can't.
Dude, it was fun.
Like it was, I could not keep, after a certain point, I was literally just like every minute to make a Woj or Shams thing, and it's like some of these trades are really weird, but it's like you kind of, especially like the 4-team trade with like the Golden State Hawks, Blazers, I think, and Pistons. That was a
Pistons,
crazy
yeah.
trade. I'm like, dude,
Where they
what's
sent like
happening?
They sent Sadiq Bey to the Hawks for 5 picks, and um, Gary Payton went to Warriors. They sent those 5 picks
I'm
straight to
like,
them. It was
that was insane.
outlandish.
I
Uh,
Wiseman will be interesting because he's not going to be in Golden State, so I want to see how the Pistons did a good job kind of bringing Killian Hayes back up. So it's just Wiseman, and I think I'm not going to knock Steve Kerr at all because he's a great NBA coach, but a problem was just that the expectations for Wiseman to be like this monster center immediately was, I don't think it was realistic.
yeah, no. And that's what the NBA is gearing towards. Is if you have a big man that can play, your team's gonna win. I mean, look at every single good team. You look at I mean, you could look at the worst big man on the best team and say that's probably DeAndre Ayton. Whenever DeAndre Ayton's on, you're not stopping him.
Right.
But Joel Embiid, Brook Lopez slash Giannis Antetokounmpo, because I mean Giannis, if you really wanted to, he has that length to play the 5. The Nets before they traded everyone with Claxton, he was getting into a real groove. And then Nikola Jokic and Steven Adams, who fits what the Grizzlies do. Every good team has a solid center, and not they're not afraid to use them in different ways. And that's a problem I think the Pelicans have with Jonas. I don't think he's what they need right now.
Well, it's just everyone like the teams you mentioned, kind of like an MVP big man though. It's like almost every,
Yeah,
and that's what they are. It's like also
the
like a,
Celtics have a great big man too,
well, yeah,
but these are all big men.
Rob Williams, when he's healthy, he's like insane defensively.
Well, that's the thing is like all of these big men do at least one thing well. Brook Lopez is a knockdown corner 3 shooter. Jokic is the best passer in the league right now. Joel Embiid, he could get a foul anywhere on the court. And Steven Adams is a rebound
You
machine.
forgot also Jaren Jackson Jr. That dude's like
Yeah, Triple J,
that
the
dude's a
guy who gets all his
monster.
stats embellished.
That was a crazy. That was when I did research on like that room. That was insane. I didn't realize how much of a beast he was until like I actually paid attention. Like that dude's just a monster. He's obviously injury prone, but when he's healthy, he's insane. Yeah, a lot of you really need a big man today. It's a lot of teams that don't have big men. It's kind of funky how this is working out. because everyone thought we wouldn't need big men no more, but it's looking like
Yeah,
the only team that doesn't have like a real good, like insane big man that I think is still really good are the Warriors. There's hurt, but they won one
I,
without a big man last year, so, like a really good one, like an MVP.
yeah, and you don't need an MVP caliber one. You just need one that's really good at one singular thing. Like if I'm the Pelicans, the Pelicans number one, like they wouldn't need Jokic, they wouldn't need an Embiid, they would need a Lopez, a guy who will like clear the board and drain a 3-pointer
I think
because of the gravity that the other guys have on the team
I think for
already.
the Pelicans, a lot more. You guys need like an interior defensive
Yeah,
guy.
Jonas Valanciunas. We got a breaking
What
from
happened?
DFA. I think Justin Jefferson just bought. He won Offensive Player of the Year.
Oh, okay, so nothing surprising.
Okay. Yeah, no.
No,
I saw
nothing.
it. I was like, did he sign a?
There's.
Did he
I
sign?
really doubt this is really off topic, but we can make it this topic. But I really doubt Jefferson goes back to Minnesota.
Really?
I don't know why you. If you're a star, why would you go back to Minnesota? Like, don't let Dak and all them listen to this, but like, if you're really, because it's obvious Justin Jefferson's a superstar, but you know how many more posts we would be getting if he was like in LA or something. Like,
Yeah. If I'm him, I'm going. I would either do one or two things. I would either go to a place where, I mean, they just have a MVP front runner every single time. Kirk Cousins is better than people give him credit for, but I'd rather play with Patrick Mahomes, Justin Herbert, Jalen Hurts. Which I mean, Jalen Hurts he doesn't need he doesn't need
Mahomes
Justin
Jefferson
Jefferson.
duo would make me vomit. That's so disgusting.
Either that or I'd return home.
Of course, you'd be.
No,
He's from
look, yeah,
Louisiana.
I know you're gonna say, yeah, of course, but if I'm an athlete, one of my big things would be like, I want to return home.
Not, I can see that. The only thing is, with my team, there's no way we can. We have so many mouths to feed already. We can't fucking like, unless we trade Ayuk or something, like Debo or something.
Yeah,
There's too much there's already a lot of drama with Ayuk's fifth year option. If we add like Justin Jefferson, like I'd rather have
yeah,
Ayuk would be way cheaper, but then also I mean Jefferson. I don't know how you'd feel if a lot of the time we're running into Debo or like CMC or whoever, like, because the Vikings
yeah.
are very pass first, so he's getting lots of balls, lots of attention. You'd have to run block a lot, and
Ayuk is gonna look really good whenever you guys trade him, because he is gonna be in the black and gold.
oh yeah, like the black and golden, like Steelers.
No, that's yellow. That's an ugly yellow too. Any Steelers fan that listens to this and has a problem, go argue with a wall. That's an ugly yellow. This is gold, not whatever you guys
The black
have.
and gold brigade won't like that.
No, they won't. And I'll argue with them. Uh, so okay, let's.
What are you
Where
feeling
were?
right now? Because I was talking, we were
Oh, we
talking
got
like,
another post. You're gonna like this one. Defensive Player of the Year, Nick Bosa.
let's go. Most Dude, it's crazy when I put it all together. The 49ers how like a real shot, like winning like executive of the year, coach of the year, the assistant coach of the year, defensive player of the year, offensive rookie of the year.
Um, what did I just read? I'm trying to get to the post, and I'm reading horrible things right now. Like least valuable player, and it's Zach Wilson.
Are you looking at the NFL hate memes?
I am, and I'm not trying to. I'm trying to get to JPA. There's JPA. Okay. Yeah, 49ers 18 and a half sacks, man. I could do that, honestly.
No, you can't. See, Nick
But
Bosa has like a special reason of why he gets half these sacks and no others.
oh man, he's fueled on. Good thing, Derek Carr is gonna be my quarterback now.
Yes.
God-fearing white man.
But what would you do if the Jets just throw like 2 first rounders like Derek Carr? Because I feel like the Jets are
What
fucking desperate, buddy.
doesn't matter, man. He obviously is in love with the Saints,
With
and
Nolans.
I really think though, if he were to not be traded and it would go all the way to a deadline, I think that's planned. Like, I really do think that would be planned for the Saints. He looks angry. He looks like he might play some angry football next year. That's what I
Also,
want.
you guys have to thank us because we took Steve Wilkes out of your division because the Panthers wanted Frank Reich. What are your thoughts?
No, I'm not thanking you guys. I don't want to face Frank Reich 2 times a year. They should have gave Wilkes a chance.
Yeah, I'm glad Wilkes is my team. We went from D'Amico
Yeah.
Reed to Steven Wilkes, dude. We're just getting so many good coordinators. It's actually insane.
Yeah, and Sean Payton is screwing the Saints right now. I don't know if you've seen that.
We gotta talk about Sean Payton. Like, we gotta. What are your thoughts? Like, you've been obviously he's been on your team since like 2006, 5. You gotta.
I'll start with the compensation that we got for him. We got the 29th and a second round next year, while sending a third this year, to them. My biggest problem with that is I do believe there could have been more, but like not trading away that third. The rumors around the league were that they were surprised the Saints even got that much. They were surprised the Saints got a first. So, good trade by the Saints. I have a friend who's a Broncos fan, and I really, I really hope the Broncos suck because of him, because he likes to trash talk me a lot. So I hope that the Broncos and the Nuggets both have the worst meltdowns known to man. Specifically against New Orleans-based teams. But
the Pelicans Nuggets, like conference finals.
Yeah, and I hope it's like I hope they're like up 3-1 and the Pelicans just storm back and stomp them, like 30-point blowouts every game.
And there's like a Zion highlight dunk every quarter.
Yeah, every quarter, Nikola Jokic has to taste the tip of Zion as he goes up. Statue of Liberty's him.
Zion coming back?
After All-Star break.
Okay, good.
So it sucks. It sucks because we have to play the revamped Lakers again. And you guys were already scoring on us. I'm surprised Anthony Davis
have 2 top 15 shooters, so let's go. I'm happy about that.
And whenever Russell Westbrook signs with the Pelicans,
he's gonna ruin your team. He's gonna be a double agent.
No, he's gonna drop like 38 on you guys, and we're just gonna release him right after. Buy out his contract.
Someone we know who's a Heat fan, he's like begging to get Russell Westbrook. I'm like, please don't drink that Kool-Aid. That's like, don't do it. There's a reason why almost every Lakers fan just wanted him gone. Like, when it's like that unanimous, you
tried to sell me on Russell Westbrook because you're like, you need a primary ball handler off the bench. And I was like, no, I'm good on Russell Westbrook. Now, the Reggie Jackson Kool-Aid, I might be sipping.
Yeah, because Reggie Jackson's not a locker room cancer. Like, they really traded Westbrook because he started arguing with the coach. Dude, I can't.
And they traded another guy because he tried ruining history.
Thomas Bryant. Well, forever, the shot that broke NBA history, you always see Thomas Bryant wanting the ball. It's just
LeBron's mad he ruined his photo op.
The GM has traded him.
But so okay, continuing on with Sean Payton, man. He is horrible. I hate him. I hope Sean Payton fails in Denver. And Saints fans are gonna be like, oh my god, he gave you his all, yada yada. One thing, he gave up. He screwed this team and then decided, oh, my battery's empty. I need to go refill it for a year. Is pretty much what it was described as. Left, and teased. There was a big tease the whole time about, oh, I don't know if I'm coming back. I don't know if I'm gonna go to Fox. the whole time before traded. He's now traded, and now he is poaching Saints staff members. And Sean Payton, go eat a fat one. We don't like you down here anymore. No, people are going to be apologetic because for some reason Saints fans will like find ways for if Louisiana greatness is being represented. I know Sean Payton isn't from Louisiana, but he represented the Saints for years. They're like, I hope he does great. No, I hope Sean Payton fails. I hope he goes 0-17. I hope that every little Denver Broncos fan's dream is crushed. I hope he does the same thing that he did to the Saints, where he leverages their future, gets tired of it, and then just leaves.
He's really
like.
He's the Aaron Rodgers of coaches, I guess.
I hope so. I hope that's what he turns into. I hope he starts doing like ayahuasca or whatever it's called, and dark room therapy whenever Russell Wilson starts floating interceptions. I'm starting to believe more that Russ and Sean Payton are going to clash.
Because Sean Payton, his agents or whatever.
His trainers, his own trainers. Sean Payton was like, "Yeah, I've never seen that, and that won't continue." And Russell Wilson's gonna be like, "Watch out, the sandwich. It's dangerous."
Yeah, he's gonna be like, he's gonna have like his Christian, like, Jesus will want me to have trainers, like some random bull crap to Sean Payton.
And Sean Payton's gonna be like, "Kill the head."
Sean Payton's not gonna have any of that.
Sean Payton's gonna put a bounty on his trainers.
To this day, I'm so mad that the Seahawks got like the fleecing of a lifetime on the Denver Broncos.
Dude, that's so funny. And so one thing, dude. So my friend, the Denver Broncos fan, will continuously have problems and things to say about the Saints and New Orleans-based organizations, and then he'll turn around and be like, "Oh, I want this guy on my team." Like, he wants Michael Thomas if the Saints got Michael Thomas. Bro. He wanted Herb Jones after sending me voice notes making fun of the Pelicans losing to the Nuggets.
Michael Thomas will be healthy. He'll be a threat with Russell Wilson.
No, he won't, because Michael Thomas likes in-breaking over the middle routes at the 5, 10, 15 yards. Russell Wilson doesn't throw those. Yeah. Now, Michael Thomas has a really nice outside release too, but it does seem now that Michael Thomas might be staying in New Orleans for another year. And I think if Derek Carr is there, they twinning up, and everything's going to be good. Everything's going to be happy.
Except Sean Payton but still dipped on you guys.
I hate him. I hope he ruins his coaching.
You guys play the Denver Broncos this year?
Don't believe so.
Oh, dude, if he did, that would be.
And if we did, we'd maul. If we did, we'd probably maul him. I'm not bought in on any Denver Broncos crap. I drank the Kool-Aid last year. You're not getting me again this year.
Never forget, dude. That Seattle fleecing is gonna haunt the rest of the division. They had like a really good pick.
Yeah, like the 9th pick. No, it's earlier.
It's like 6.
Yeah.
Dude, that's insane. I'm so mad that whatever and then the Broncos had to spend more draft capital to fix Russell Wilson, which is really funny.
I'm trying to find
like the Saints schedule.
Yeah, I am. Let's see.
Well, you guys at least just play a 3rd place schedule, I believe. So it won't be as crazy as some other schedules out there, which is really nice.
We do not play Denver. And this year it looks like we're gonna have a fairly easy road, if I'm being honest. Chicago, Detroit seems like it's gonna be the whole of the NFC North. So the Packers list are the Packers.
What happened?
Garrett Wilson won the offensive rookie of the year over that bum that
that's a lie. You can't spread misinformation on YouTube anymore.
Over that bum that didn't deserve to even be in the runnings, because they had an offensive rookie of the year candidate.
Do we play you guys next year? Do we play you guys next year? Because Brock Purdy will go.
No, we don't play each other, and Brock Purdy would get
turned
into Brock
5
Purdy.
touchdowns, 400
Brock
yards.
Purdy.
Wasn't it
And,
crazy?
yeah, they gave Brock Purdy a spot over Chris Olave, who missed 2 games and like was behind Garrett Wilson by like 100 yards.
So you guys play the Vikings.
Yeah.
So Vikings Twitter
Thankfully,
will
we're
melt.
gonna get back at him.
Vikings Twitter will melt down and say like the Saints did something bad.
Yeah, I've never seen so many fans cry about refs whenever I watched them literally get a game handed to them by the referees against the Saints this year, and then they're like, "Oh, well, we got literal touchdowns pulled off the board." Yeah, and you also got exposed by Daniel Jones
Oh, that was
and
insane.
the butler from Jesse as his coach. I mean,
Dude, like I don't even know. That's hilarious, but Vikings fans swear they're nice. It's like that would be like the flukiest 13-win season like I've ever seen, if we're being
we're
realistic.
nice. We're nice, and we get screwed over by referees. I watched them get like it was back-to-back plays or back-to-back third downs. One was a 3rd and 9 incompletion. They were out of field goal range if I was right, and they called a hands to the face because Tyrann Matthew shoulder checked, like shoulder stuffed, Jefferson off the line, and then the next play they called, or the next third down they called a PI on Lattimore, which it was PI, but fucking excuse my language. Adam Thielen grabs Lattimore's face mask and pulls him. Didn't call that,
But Vikings
and then
might
they score.
you have to understand the Vikings are probably not to cut Dalvin Cook or Adam Thielen.
Good,
I
good.
mean,
I hope Adam Thielen becomes a Saint. For I have one really good reason for hoping Adam Thielen becomes a Saint. I will buy his jersey and send it to a special person we know, Loki.
um, I I would say Adam Thielen should be a Niner, but there's no room for him over here because we already Jawan Jennings is a free agent, and I'd rather have Jawan Jennings than old Adam Thielen.
Sauce Gardner is the defensive player of the year.
Rookie.
It honestly should have been Alontae Taylor, you know. I mean, he was a top 10 cornerback, Alontae Taylor. His stats, 57.7 passer rating, which was number 2 out of all
When did
cornerbacks,
they
44.
reveal MVP?
Um today, so it's going to go, I think it goes, now it's defensive rookie, I think it goes comeback player of the year, coach of the year, or comeback player Walter Payton man of the year, coach of the year, and then
I'm gonna flip.
MVP.
I'm gonna flip
We know
out.
who it is.
I'm gonna flip out of freaking Geno Smith is comeback player of the year because what did he
What he
come?
came back from
Dude,
being sucked.
exactly. He didn't come back from nothing. Give it to
Yeah, I
CMC.
agree with that. It should be CMC.
CMC coach of the year will be Cal Shanahan. Executive of the year will be John Lynn.
No,
Executive.
it's
Oh, this is
it's
gonna
gonna
be
be coach of
crazy.
the year is gonna be Brian Dable. Um,
Executive of the year
yeah,
could probably be Howie Roseman. On a serious note,
it should be. It
I think it
should
will
be.
be.
And I, as a Saints fan, am haunted by Howie Roseman.
He fleeced your guys' team.
Shut up! No, he didn't.
Yeah, buddy. You could have had a really nice pick to kind of
And do what? And do what? Draft the same positions we drafted this year?
Dude.
We would have got a quarterback with no wide receiver or offensive line, or
Just,
a wide receiver with no offensive line, or no offensive line with a wide receiver. We might be cutting Andrews Pete this year. That makes me happy.
what do you think is gonna happen with the first overall pick? Because we kind of talked about draft stuff. What are we working with?
I think it's gonna be Young, but I'm not sipping his Kool-Aid, man. He's the best. Look, Young is the best NFL level passer, but whenever you're literally gonna probably come out as 5'10" and a half and less than 200 pounds, that's a problem. It's a big problem to have as a quarterback. I think it goes like I think it goes Young, Stroud, Levis, Richardson, or
was
Richardson Levis.
I was meaning like, do you think the Bears would like trade that? Because I'm assuming they would,
Oh,
or
yeah, they are.
to
They're
who?
probably gonna trade. They're either gonna trade to 2 or 4. I think it is.
I think they'd probably trade to the Colts. If that's who you're referring to as number 4.
Yeah. So Texans, Colts. Um,
Never
it's
forget
whoever. It's
Lovey
whoever they
Smith.
can do without like losing out on a really, really, really blue chip prospect.
Lovey Smith sacrificed himself for entertainment when he freaking called the Hail Mary one for 2, dude. That had to have been one of the wildest acts of sabotage I've ever seen in any sport.
That was so funny for a team that doesn't even want it.
So dude, that was insane because he got fired like hours after. Like they weren't even home yet, and he got fired.
They got to Black Monday, and
It wasn't even
everyone
Black
knew what was
Monday.
gonna.
It was
Yeah,
like,
everyone knew. The second they could get him on the phone, because he probably like muted his phone calls, and just like was sipping alcohol while watching the sunset.
yeah, like,
'Cause he knew what was happening.
dude, that imagine if like imagine if they take like CJ Stroud or Bryce Young, whoever first overall, he's like a superstar, and then another one becomes a bust. The one whoever the Texans got, and it's like
That would be so funny.
that would knowing how bad the Texans' luck is, it probably would happen that way.
It's not Texans' luck; it's self-inflicted wounds. Let's be honest.
True, the Texans did JJ Watt dirty, and then JJ Watt retired, which is something that happened recently, and AJ Green retired. It's really funny because they were both on the Cardinals, and everyone makes fun of them by calling them the retirement home in the NFL. What are you looking at right now?
Just updated.
I don't even know. Is there like the ceremony, like the award shows tonight?
Yeah, well, that's how we know everything.
Oh, I didn't
I
even.
always thought it was the Saturday before.
Yeah, I thought it was like the day before, the Friday before. Yeah, I didn't.
It's
Yeah,
played on the Sunday, isn't it?
yeah, the Saturday or Friday.
Yeah, a Thursday's weird.
Yeah, I didn't even know that
It
shit was
is
going
Thursday,
on.
right?
It is Thursday, indeed. So it's just
This-
like, can't wait. Did you hear about the new Russell Wilson scandal that popped up?
Yes, I did.
His charity.
Yeah, and some charities operate like that, but I don't. I thought it was usually closer to 50-50 than like 25-75. The 75 the charity's keeping.
Sean Payton probably had something to do with that leak.
Yep, and I hope Sean Payton gets arrested for it. I don't wish anything good for Sean Payton.
Yeah, I'm Sean Payton. Really, you have a real hatred for Sean Payton.
I do.
That's how I feel about the Eagles right now. I don't know if the people we know who are Eagles fans are watching this far, but I will never accept the NFC Championship loss. I hope they know that. Like to this day, I will swear we could have beat them. Like it's on that type of level.
Yeah, you know what else I swear? I swear that the Eagles are bums because they lost to the 7-10 Saints, led by Andy Dalton.
They're gonna say,
Oh, we didn't have Jalen Hurts. Shut
say,
up. Shut up.
Dude,
I know.
who are you going for in the Super Bowl?
Oh, dude, I'm going for Mahomes. I have an agenda to fill.
As someone who dislikes both the Chiefs and the Eagles, this is an agonizing Super Bowl.
I almost always go for AFC teams. Once they get into the Super Bowl, I can't remember the last time I went for an NFC team. Like sometimes I remember the Saints fans were like rooting for Carolina and Atlanta. And I was like, "What are you doing?" And I was like, "Why?" They're like NFC South representation. And I was like, "Shut up."
Yeah, I don't.
And luckily, I was right on both of those.
I would never go for the Seahawks or Rams or Cardinals.
But I'm like, dude, I'm going for freaking Mahomes because I want Mahomes to be known as the GOAT.
Dude, this ruins all my agendas. Because I was hoping the Joe Burrow owns Mahomes agenda would be in it. That
Burrowhead.
Dude, they could have.
Burrow's lucky he lost in the championship game because he would have been downright embarrassed in the Super Bowl. He would have lost another Super Bowl. The whole reason is they made the Chiefs' defensive line look like freaking the Eagles' defensive line
Dude,
against
that
that
was like
Bengals
such a
offensive line.
insanity run. Like I
It was, but also like who is it that they have? Frank Clark. He had like a really quiet, amazing year. Um, Mostly because everyone else was focusing on Micah Parsons, Hassan Reddick, Nick Bosa. But
Who do you think will win though in the Super Bowl?
hopefully Chiefs, man. What I think's gonna happen though is I think the Eagles are gonna win. If
Dude,
they neutralize the Eagles' run game, they have a chance.
it
They,
sucks for me just because like I have just either way a team. I feel we got cheated by the Eagles because we lost both our quarterbacks, and then we know what happened to Nick Bosa in 2019. It's like this is
yeah.
like the worst for the 49er fan base. This is the worst outcome.
What happened with Nick Bosa? He got blocked, didn't he?
No, he got held, and I swear to
I
God,
oh.
the
Also, and George Kittle had offensive pass interference, wasn't it? Was it
uh,
George Kittle?
I just know for a fact Nick Bosa got held like on a prom date, and he did not get a single call.
And what happened to whenever y'all had a chance to like tie or take the lead, and Jimmy
Oh my
Garoppolo
God,
see
no!
someone run
Don't
open down the seam?
don't bring up slipping Jimmy. I'm gonna bring up Jared Cook. So we know how.
Oh man, we both have those hated guys. Dude, I remember he talked back. I was like, "How do you miss Emmanuel Sanders by that much?" Because
Dude,
Emmanuel, there was no one within 10 yards. All he had to do was just float it up,
it's
and he
slipping
did
Jimmy. It's what he like. The thing is, slipping Jimmy gets bailed out by like throwing a dump to Raheem Mostert and Raheem Mostert going 80 yards on a touchdown. But it's like everyone knows that Jimmy G was genuinely carried by his weapons, but people who just look at stats will say, "Well, he has like this much yards." Like, dude, it's not because he's throwing it and like he's not throwing in tight windows or he's not like making deep shots. He's throwing it. He's just the yards after the catch game is like so good, and that's one thing I noticed with Purdy. It really was he was hitting guys down. It was insane, but Jimmy, we never had that with Jimmy, and
I have to say, man, Jimmy, that game against the Saints was one of the most lucky games Jimmy Garoppolo has ever played.
Jimmy
Because
G
I
is
don't
a
know if you
lucky
watched it.
quarterback. Like
You watched it, right?
no,
No,
I
you
watched
didn't. You
I
were
watched a
working, I
bit of it.
think.
I used to, the main plays I remember was when Dre Greenlaw destroyed Alvin Kamara, like, and Tulano Hufanga destroyed Kamara on the goal line stand, and then we got the fumble recovery, and then Chris
So
Olave dropped the ball, and then there was like the incompletion supposedly.
supposedly, they're like he didn't take 3 steps, and you could watch like on the thing. You could watch 1, 2, and his third foot's on the ground. It's just the front of his foot's dragging. They're like, yeah, that's not 3 steps. Oh, dude, that pissed me off beyond belief. And then I found out that it was Bill Winovich reffing the game, and I think I might put a hit out on a grown man because I dislike Bill Winovich. So in that game though, Garoppolo threw an interception that was almost a pick six. It got down to the 3 yard line, and they said that Chris Harris Jr. was holding, and Chris Harris Jr. tried like telling them, I do this every play. Why are you now calling it the one play we get an interception?
'Cause
And then after that, he threw a pass that doinked off of the helmet of a player, went straight up and just fell harmlessly on the ground. He had another play where he was getting sacked, and he just so happened to, as he's turning, he throws it to his flat receiver and gets a first out of it. Dude, that was the most lucky game I've ever seen by a quarterback.
dude, it's really funny is that when Dre Greenlaw destroyed Kamara, the ball
Shut up.
like no, it's because the
Went
football
up
fouled
and
like a minute, and the States players were like right there, they didn't do shit, and it's really funny.
Dewan Johnson, the guy whose job is to catch the ball, has the most soft landing ball ever, and he just misses. It would have been a touchdown if he just catches it. And then he drops another touchdown, and then Taysom Hill drops a touchdown, and then Nick Bosa, that racist, jumps off sides and sacks Andy Dalton on 4th down.
Is that Wait,
Will Lutz,
that's the
this is a
play
field
where
goal.
Nick Bosa had like a full track start, if I'm correctly.
Yes, dude. He's like full on running past Ryan Ramczyk, and that was such a bad refereed game. Look, we got away with some. We got away with there was a bad hold call on like a touchdown run. But our player had sold it like it was a good hold, like it was a hold, and then they had another one that they missed. I think it might have been missed face mask, but like they had that Chris Olave one that they overturned. How do you overturn it? Then they had the Chris Olave one. They had that freaking interception turned over. They called a holding whenever like I forgot. Andy Dalton got face masked by a defensive player. They were horrible.
Dude,
But it's that
I'm
that
convinced
West
your
Coast referee, and
I'm convinced your Saints players had like something against Andy Dalton, because especially
dude,
in that
we
Tampa Bay
screwed him
game,
over.
that Tampa Bay game, dude, your guys just let him down. That was insane, that game. And then, of course, the second that game was over, the media Tom Brady narrative went crazy.
Yeah, because Tom Brady marched down the field like the GOAT he was and scored 17 points to beat Andy Dalton. He was down with 3 minutes left, and
Dude, it's for me, it's crazy you remember all that stuff, because at least for me, it's been so chaotic in the 49er fandom and the 49er, like the playoff run we had. Like all the stuff that happened in the regular season before Brock Purdy took place, it feels like a different year for us. Because I remember the day where Jimmy G got hurt and Brock Purdy came in and we smacked the Dolphins. Everyone thought our season was done that day. Well, then Brock Purdy went crazy. I forgot his first game was against Seattle, and that was a really good game. I remember we were live streaming that game, and then I'm like, oh, dude, this guy might be nice. And then we had like that little like 10-game insanity run before the Eagles decided to kill both our quarterbacks. And it's if you go on 49er Discord, like Twitter, dude, our fan base is so divided, because this was Trey Lance's team, and we drafted a lot of guys for Trey Lance, but then Brock Purdy just decided to be good, and we kind of don't know what to do with that, because we're assuming Slipping Jimmy is out the door. Who won MVP? I'm assuming that's the news.
no, I'm listening to everything you're saying, but I'm looking at XFL rosters. For one, there was a guy that I really wanted the Saints to keep, and they didn't, and he went to the XFL.
Are you gonna watch
And
that XFL?
I am. Oh, what? He was released freaking yesterday. Bro, I'm telling you, they're missing out, man.
Does New
They're
Orleans have a
missing
team?
out.
Or like, I'm not sure if they do.
Now I don't. They don't have a team. But no. So I was making the face because they have a guy that was listed as a wide receiver. His name is Puka Williams. Puka Williams played ball at Hanville High School, which my alma mater for high school played against. And he's like 5'6", and he's not a wide receiver. He's a running back. He also has like 3 toes on one foot because of a lawnmower accident.
That's really oddly specific details that you can somehow remember. Oh, he's just running with 3 toes like that. What's your XFL team? I'm just curious. Or do you have
Well,
one?
it was the Brahmas because Dejan was on it. But now that Dejan's off of it, I don't know what I'm choosing.
I'm kind of leaning towards the Las Vegas team because it's closest to where I live.
So the Las Vegas Vipers, did you see their secondary logo?
No, I used to know it's black and red.
Fleur de lis.
So yeah, they stole that from you guys.
I was like, what the heck, man? We're stealing their quarterback, and now they're stealing this. Oh man, like the Brahmas are still cool, but I might go with whoever's closest to me, and then if a New Orleans team pops up,
Just kind of go for them.
yeah, I'm gonna have to look at the roster, see if. Well, wait, who's the one with Puka? Was it the Defenders? I don't want to root for a team that's in red and white.
That too much like the Falcons, I'm assuming.
No, it's just I'm tired of boring colors. Let's see. Quarterbacks on the Vipers: Brett Hundley and Louis Perez. That's pretty good.
Louis Perez
Ben
was pretty good.
DiNucci.
Dude, I only know Ben DiNucci because there was like that one primetime game a couple years back where it was like the Cowboys and the Eagles, like in 2020 when they both had like really shitty seasons. Dude, Ben DiNucci was so awful, it was insane.
Yeah, so I'm looking at these rosters, man, and none of them are really moving me.
Dude, I mean, it's literally like the XFL and it's like probably lower than USFL, so it's like really getting some like watered down.
Well, I mean, no. So these are better than this pays better, so they got better players than the USFL. But what else we got on the chopping board for today?
Oh yeah, so what about your prediction about OG Anunoby to the Pelicans?
I don't want to talk about that.
Dude, I have
I'm glad. I'm kind of glad it didn't happen, but I'm also upset. I wanted something different than him, but if that's what we were gonna get, that's what I wanted. We just didn't get it.
yeah, I'm just saying, and the guy kind of circling back to the NBA, dude. The freaking like, what seed are you guys in right now?
8. I want to say 8 or 8 to 10 area.
Damn, if you
Let's
guys have to play
see.
against the Nuggets, that's gonna be kind of tough. I ain't gonna
We've
lie.
already played the Nuggets all 4 times. I think. I think we beat them twice, and then we lost them twice. So let's see. So the Western Conference is Nuggets, Grizzlies, Kings, Mavs, Suns, Clippers, Pelicans, Timberwolves, Warriors, Trailblazers. So yeah, I think oh man, we play Cleveland next tomorrow. If we win that one, Pelicans win that one, we jump to the 6th seed. If we got to go on a little run. If I'm right, it's the Cavaliers, the Lakers, and one more team. Let me see. Let me pull it up. So yeah, Cavaliers tomorrow at 9 p.m. It's not a back-to-back. So Sunday, no, it's Monday. We play the Thunder. Ooh.
Oh, dude, I'm so mad.
And
Dude, the Thunder against Mike Muscala against the Lakers. Look, did you see the LeBron game where he beat Kareem's record?
No, I didn't.
Oh, dude, Mike Muscala looked like Klay Thompson out there, dude. It was insane. He was hitting every three, and it kept pissing me off.
He could be knocked down, dude. So yeah, we go. Our last game before the break is you guys. I think we're gonna go 1-2. Honestly, I think we're gonna beat the Thunder. I don't think we beat you guys, and I don't think we beat Cleveland tomorrow. We can, but we're gonna have to get a good showing. If we can go 2-1 or 3-0 over that stretch to finish out before the All-Star break, because we open up after the All-Star break with Zion back most likely, and we open with the Raptors. And dude, after that, it's like an easy schedule. It's Raptors, then the Knicks, then
easy money.
Then it's the Magic, then it's the Trailblazers. After the Trailblazers, it's the Warriors, which they're probably gonna start everyone, so it's not an easy game anymore.
I think for me though, I know we play the Bucks today, I believe, and LeBron's out, and I'm not sure what's going on with the rest of the guys we got, so that's probably a loss, unfortunately. But I'm just hoping soon we get healthy, like everyone's like fully ready to go. I want to see how this new team does. What happen?
The Hawks are killing
Ooh.
the frickin' Suns. 116-102 with 108 left.
But the Suns don't have KD, right?
No.
Yeah, of course. They traded away like a bunch of pieces.
Yeah, but that's what I need. So if the Pelicans win tomorrow, I think we jump the Suns, and I think we would go all the way to 4. Dude, we just need good seeding.
Like,
We just need really freaking good seeding.
which team do you like? If like in the first round, who do you not want to deal with?
Grizzlies.
Grizzlies, bro. Are you kidding me?
Because I think the Nuggets. If the Pelicans are healthy, I think the Pelicans beat the Nuggets in a 7-game series.
You really think
And
that?
our friend, yes, because whenever we were mostly healthy, and that's without Bi, we beat them. We destroyed them, and the last 2 games were Brandon Ingram was still returning from injury, so he was not playing well. And the one before that, we had no one. Dyson Daniels got hurt, and we lost by 1 point. Because CJ didn't try and bait for the foul and took a really bad shot. Like, let me see. Pelicans.
Also, the Nuggets got rid of Bones,
Okay,
but
so
then they got Thomas, so I have no idea if they got
we
better.
played them 3 times. We played them 3 times, so we're 1-2 against them. It was 121 to 106 when the Pelicans were healthy. Jose Alvarado dropped his best game ever at 38 points. Then it was Nuggets 99, Pelicans 98 whenever we had no one, and then it was 122 to 113 whenever BI was playing horribly.
So you're assuming if everybody's healthy, you guys can cook them.
If everybody's even close to healthy, we are smacking the Nuggets around.
Well, how come you're
like
afraid of the Grizzlies?
Because the Grizzlies just exploit us, man. They do it. They do it to us. I don't know. I don't have any reason for it. Anything like that. They just do it to us. And that's the only team I'm afraid of. I'm not afraid of the Suns. The last game the Suns won, Willie Green went to the podium, and one of the first things he talked about was saying that that's whenever Booker had like the 57-point game and overcame that 24-point deficit. He was like, how does one person shoot more free throws than our entire team? Brian Dable won Coach of the Year.
Okay.
How does one person shoot more free throws than my entire team whenever my entire team's a top 10 free throw shooting team in the NBA?
I kind of know that NBA refs suck. Don't even, dude. I have a good buddy who's a Lakers fan, and if you bring up the end of the Celtics game, oh my god, he gets.
Oh, dude, that was clean, all ball.
Oh, dude, he gets so livid. It's insane. Because I'm in a server with it's me and my other guy's a Lakers fan, and the other guy who's a really good friend of mine. He's a Celtics fan. So he just keeps trolling him, and he keeps falling for it every time. He'll just like post like a pic, like his profile picture is LeBron on his knees crying right now, and it's like, dude, for me though, I don't even know if my team will make it to the fucking playoffs. So I'm not even worried about that. I'm worried about the Thunder at this point.
I just want the Pelicans to get above the play-in, because I feel like if we go into the play-in, we're gonna lose.
But like for me, if LeBron James is still somehow like playing really good, and if we have healthy AD again, and we have D'Lo, and we have all these kind of new guys going, and assuming we get someone from like the buyout market, I don't know, we can do something.
Russell Westbrook from the buyout market, that's a really good fit for you guys.
We have D'Lo, he's like infinitely better, and then of course we have Jared Vanderbilt is a really nice defensive piece. Malik Beasley is really good, so I'm hoping we can, and Rui Hachimura is a good pickup, so I'm hoping eventually we can kind of get something going. But then it's like in the West, there's obviously there's a lot more interesting. It's really hard just because we have the Nuggets, but then the Nuggets, like, if Jokic is off the floor, like they have Thomas Bryant, but Thomas Bryant's barbecue chicken on the defensive end.
Well, like what they've been doing is like they've been getting it to where they alternate. If I'm right, it's them that do this. Like Aaron Gordon goes on the floor whenever Jokic and Murray come off. So they still have a scorer. And I want the Pelicans to do that with Jonas. Jonas isn't a defender. He doesn't clear boards at a high rate. And whenever we play the Nuggets, he's horrible against Jokic. Willie Hernangomez will actually stop Jokic all the time. Like one game he held him to like 19 until they just kept feeding Jokic the ball to score.
Do you guys have like
like
problems though? Because we're trying to before we before we had like the new trade, we were trying to get fucking Darvin Ham and stop doing the 3 guard lineup. Because there'd be times we have like Patrick Beverly and like Dennis Schroeder and Kendrick Nunn and like LeBron and like we'd also have like Troy Brown. It's like, dude, what are these lineups? And it's like, but then now that we have actual players, I hope he knows how to do a proper lineup. But like when you look at it from like top to bottom, like we have like all the Nuggets, but then the Nuggets once Jokic is off the floor, dude, that's when you go berserk on them. And then it's like, I guess who's the number 2 seed? Like, Grizzlies, I think.
Grizzlies, yeah.
Grizzlies, dude. All they do is talk, and I'm pretty sure any team does any ounce of motivation will like own them. I'm not really afraid of the Grizzlies. If
They have a losing record in the West.
that happened after Josh said he was fine in the West, which is really funny. Then you have the Kings. The Kings are interesting because De'Aaron Fox can like pop off and like
yes,
get every foul
we
call.
beat them without Fox. We beat them without Fox. But we also didn't have Bi. We had like Sad Bi, Zion, Jonas, and Dyson were all out, and we dog walked them by 32.
Dude, like last night you had like that one really kind of like 50-50 foul, and Fox was able to pull it out. But it's like they have a lot of 3-point shooters. They have like Malik Monk, because I remember he was a Laker like last year.
Demontis Sabonis. Who's that white guy?
Kevin Herter. That's good. That
Herter.
That ginger dude can fucking knock down an open shot like no
Herter,
business.
and there's another one, isn't there? That's just no. I'm thinking of the Hawks with is it Bogdanovich that the Hawks have?
They have Bogey Bogdanovich.
Yeah, that guy can shoot.
I think it's Bojan, because I think the Pistons have Bogey. There's like 2 Bogdan. It's really weird. But yeah.
It's one of those ugly names that sounds like you're sneezing while saying it.
But yeah, so it's like the Kings can be interesting. Then it's like the Mavs. If Kyrie, I'm assuming Kyrie's not focused on basketball and he has that can be interesting. But then who's after the Mavs? There's like another team, Sons of KD. That's like a really unstoppable.
Scary.
That's like a really unstoppable like starting lineup, but then their bench is kind of questionable.
Yeah, because their best bench players Campaign, and Campaign is probably the most aggravating player to ever exist. He has
there's a couple guys for sure who scare me in the West. So I'm like Pelicans or Blazers. No, Blazers.
Whenever Dyson Daniels makes his free throw and doesn't let white boy shoot a corner
Ryan
3.
Is not on our team anymore.
Yeah, just drill a 3-pointer.
Oh, dude, that was insane.
I was so mad at Dyson Daniels. I wanted him traded that day.
Dude,
I was like, how are you an NBA player and you can't hit those freaking free throws?
That's how I felt about like so many players in the Lakers who could not hit a 3 to save their lives, and like especially like Russell Westbrook's like free throw shooting is like 60%, and he's like a point guard. I'm like, dude, how is this a thing?
Because all he does is dunk.
Dude,
he's just skinny Zion, but like way worse.
Dude, he's like, oh my god, Russell Westbrook is such an infuriating player, and like, good luck to any team that gets him, because it's.
Oh, dude, the Pelicans are, and dude, what if he wins with the Pelicans, man? Wins a championship?
I would probably break something in my room. Like, you don't understand how angry I'd be. As so many Lakers fans just hate. I'm not at that level, but dude, there's sometimes I watch him just do like a stupid foul or like just take a horrible shot. I'm like, dude, why is this a thing? Why is this happening?
But all right, man. It's 9 o'clock over where I'm at, man.
Yeah, thanks for coming on. This video for sure come out tomorrow.
All right, cool, man. Whenever you have, like, if you ever want to do draft coverage or anything like that, probably draft day, I'm gonna be with my friends on stuff like that. But if you want to recap, if you want to get some people to recap with you and stuff like that, just let me know.
I want to do like a recap of every team's season, so I'm planning on having some people on. So once it's the Saints time. So I'll just go by like, draft order. Once it's time, which will be kind of soon actually, but once the Saints video's on, I'd want to have you on here so we can talk about what happened in 2022.
But all right, man.
All right, I'll talk to you. We'll talk to you later then for sure.
See you though, dog.